Place your bets. Brad the Big Noise Evans here on a solo mission with the Feed 5 podcast presented by Suavecito Tequila. Bartender, pour it neat. And it's so good when it hits the lips. Go out and pick up a bottle of Añejo tonight and have yourself a tequila fiesta on this hump day. Lundy going to be eyeball deep in the love juice here in short order. He is on a much-deserved vacacion in Mexico, mi amigos, for the next week. So enjoy your time away, but the bets, they shall continue from yours truly. And I'm going to dive in to some college basketball action here in a moment. And hopefully we're going to have another divisional round preview episode coming up maybe Friday, Saturday-ish. I've got some family stuff to attend to on Friday. I am all from Live on the Line, but make sure you check out the show today on the Bally Sports Regional Sports Networks or stream it on Stadium at watchstadium.com/live. All the bets, an hour-long show, myself, Danny Clubbinger, Cameron Smith, steam panel of guests beginning at noon Eastern, again, on Bally Sports RSNs and on Stadium. All right, let's dive in with another edition of the Fade 5. All right, all college hoops all the time, and I absolutely love the sport. And I've been running a heater here for the last couple of weeks, and it's bound to cool down and get extinguished. And maybe tonight's a night, but maybe the hot streak drags on in a very positive way. So let's kick things off with a little money line two-leg parlay, and all I need both these teams to win. Now, we got some breaking news this morning out of the UConn camp as Danny Hurley has COVID. He's going to be out of action tonight with the assistants as well. So Tom Moore is stepping in to the captain's seat and is going to be leading the Huskies, who are limping right now in every way, shape, and form, at least mentally, given their recent losing game skid. They're taking on Seton Hall. And I think they're in a great spot to rebound despite the coaching absence. So I'm going to take them on the money line and give me Virginia on the money line as well. And you put those two together, Virginia taking on Va Tech at home, plus 103 at DraftKings. So nice little value there. As a result, UConn still an analytics darling, team that is top 20 in numerous offensive and defensive categories on the season. A lot of crisp passing. They share the sugar extraordinarily well. Strong guard play. Got Sanogo inside. Backup big man is also quite good on this team. I think UConn can still, despite Hurley's absence, get the victory here against the Hall. So nice little value there. Seton Hall, more of a middle-of-the-pack team this season for the Pirates. Meanwhile, you look at Virginia. Virginia taking on Va Tech. They're in Charlottesville. University of Virginia, number one in adjusted defensive efficiency in the ACC, giving up just 0.957 points per possession. You look at Va Tech. Putting the ball through basket has been really a mountain to climb for them much of this season. Number 12 in league play and adjusted offensive efficiency. They're only shooting 28.9% in ACC action. So again, give me UConn on the money line. Give me the Virginia Cavaliers on the money line. Both those teams win straight up. We're looking at plus 103 at DraftKings. Moving on, numero quattro here on the Fade 5. Let's live in the land down under. Cue the men at work. As a result, in the background, in the Battle of Bedlam, and it could be bricks laid in Bedlam between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. I'm going to take the under of 127.5. Pull this line from BetMGM, minus 110 is the juice. Both these offenses are highly questionable, highly suspect on the season. You look at Oklahoma State, number 8 or lower in the very loaded Big 12 conference in 8 different offensive categories. Meanwhile, OU not exactly lighting up the scoreboard. The number 6 in conference play and adjusted offensive efficiency. Tempo, is going to be slow in this game because that's what both these teams really relish. You look at Oklahoma, number 330 in the country in adjusted tempo. Oklahoma State, number 226 in the category. And we know that defensively, Oklahoma State in particular, outstanding. Number one in effective field goal percentage defense in the Big 12. And overall, you look at Oklahoma, number 24 in the country in effective field goal percentage defense, and number two in the conference in that category as well. So again, I think scoring is going to be a chore. Give me the under Oklahoma State in Stillwater. See ya at Eskimo Joe's. Moving on, numero tres here on the Fade 5 podcast. Let's talk about a team from the land of Lincoln that has grossly underachieved, and that is Loyola Chicago. And I'm going to fade the living daylights out of them. Give me the Billikens, and their mascot haunts my nightmares and dreams. It's a creepy looking dude, no question about it, but will not be skin crawling, will be the results on the court for the Billikens, who have underachieved their own right. I'm going to lay the 5. Some books have this at 5.5, which I would still play the chalk on that number. You look at St. Louis, a team that is 0 and 5. They are 4 and 1, excuse me, in the Atlantic 10. They're shooting 36.5% from 3. And also 57.1% from 2. So offensively, they've done a pretty good job. That is the antithesis, of the Ramblers, are number 14 in adjusted offensive efficiency so far in A10 play. And that conference change, new affiliation going from the Missouri Valley to the A10 has been unsightly for this Rambler squad. And Sister Jean and friends, they are over. They are 0 and 5 in league play, and number 361 on the season in turnover percentage offense. So a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Those have really mounted up, and as a result, they have been picked apart not only offensively but defensively as well. They are dead last in 5 different defensive categories in A10 play. So the lousiness of Loyola across the board match with St. Louis, who's better statistically than maybe they are on the surface, though they are 4 and 1 in Atlantic 10 play. I say the Billikens make you some buckaroos and score the cover on the road in Chicago. Numero dos, should be dos. Let me go ahead and change that. It said 3 there on the marquee. And now it is correct. Numero dos on the Fave 5 today. Give me the Providence Friars plus 7.5 at Marquette, minus 110 at BetMGM. Now, we have an enormous injury question mark that's going to play a massive role. It's involving Providence's best player, Bryce Hopkins, highly questionable with an ankle injury. And if he is gone, that obviously increases the chances of Marquette not only to win, but to cover. But still, I think the Friars have enough at the guard position. They have enough depth as well to compete if Hopkins is sidelined and in street clothes on the bench in this game. So I'm going to take them plus 7.5. But word of advice, I would maybe play the patience card with this game as it leads up to tip time. Once that information comes out on Hopkins, if he is indeed out, I'm sure to see the line jump. It's probably going to be plus 8, plus 8.5, maybe even higher by game time. But still, knowing what is at stake here and knowing, too, that Hopkins could be out, I do like the Friars plus the points. They have won 4 of their last 5 on the road. They are number 1 in conference play in the Big East in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're only giving up 22.9% along the arc in league action. Croswell, Carter have been spectacular, really complimented Hopkins very, very nicely this season. It's a team, too, that's shooting nearly 37% in Big East play from along the perimeter. So they have some offensive juice despite Hopkins, if he is indeed out in this game. And we know the defensive upside that they possess. You look at Marquette, a team under Shaka Smart that loves to zip, fly up and down the floor. As a result of that, they are number 1 in adjusted offensive efficiency in the Big East, but they are number 9 in effective field goal percentage defense and dead last in 2-point percentage D. So attack. Get downhill, Providence. And if you do, even without your best player on the floor, I think you're scoring the cover plus 7.5. numero uno on this rapid fire edition of the Fade Five today. Give me the Missouri Tigers -1.5 against the Arkansas Razorbacks in Columbia. I think Dennis Gates and company, his squad gets the job done -110 at BetMGM. Frankly, I got this line when it opened last night at a pick'em on BetMGM, but it's only risen by 1.5, and I would still play this. I think Missouri's going to win this game by a deuce or more. Arkansas just cannot score. They have shot the ball so poorly in league action. Let me give you the numbers to back it up. They're shooting 23.3% from three and only 62.5% on freebies, on free throws at the charity stripe. So even when they're getting downhill and drawing contact, they're really not converting on those opportunities defensively. They've been suspect at best. 37.9% they have allowed along the perimeter and on the season in totality. Number 98 in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. You look at Missouri as a team that feeds off mistakes. They force a ton of turnovers. They're number 9 overall in adjusted offensive efficiency among the 363 teams in college basketball. They're shooting close to 59% from 2-point range, number 4 in the nation in that category. And we have a recent history. Remember, Mizzou went to Fayetteville on January 4th and drew the L. They lost 74-68 in that game. I think revenge is a dish best served cold as long as they force Arkansas into mistakes. And if the clangs off the rim continue from outside, for the Razorbacks, I think Eric Musselman, those Diet Cokes are not going to be tasting so good. So give me Mizzou -1.5 at home against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And that's coming from an Illini fan who really doesn't like Mizzou in general. All right, it's bonus time. Let me give you some additional action that I have tonight. And let's go to the NBA. I got a couple of player props I'm digging in on. One, Bam Adebayo, 1+ steal. Bam Adebayo, 1+ blocks. Both those events occur on an OGP. It is +140 at BetMGM. The Miami Heat taking on the Pelicans this evening. And look at New Orleans. They have allowed the second most opponent block shots per game over their last 10 contests. And they've allowed the 11th most steals per game to opponents as well during that same stretch. Adebayo has done this 7 of his last 10 games. He's got at least a block and a steal in a contest. He's averaging 1.7 blocks and 1.4 steals per game here in the month of January. So +140? Yeah, I'll get seduced by that juice with wham, bam, and thank you, ma'am. Elsewhere in the NBA, Jared Allen, give me the over 17.5 points plus assists. Now, he's not a guy known to really dish the rock often in a game, but he's averaging 2.8 dimes dropped per contest here in the month of January, and he's hit the over on this 17.5 points plus assist mark in 4 of his last 5. He's done in points alone in 3 straight games. He's taken on the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis, number 21, an opponent assist per game allowed here over their last 10 contests, but number 5, an opponent points per game allowed during that same stretch. So they haven't allowed a ton of points in the post, but they've given up quite a few assists. So maybe he can kick it outside, and the guards can do some, rainmaking, and Jared Allen could get to, 3, 4, 5 assists in this game and get you around 15 points, and that's an easy cash. Again, this month he's averaging 17.6 combined in points plus assists, slightly above the 17.5 needed. All right, elsewhere in college basketball, let's go ahead and just do this. Team Huevos Gigantes. As a result, moneyline parlay, 6 legs. I usually never do this. But for S's and G's, this is a heat check. I want to see if I stay sizzling here on the hardwood in college basketball. So all I need, these teams just to win. It's a money line parlay. Constructed this at DraftKings, and I got like a boost as well on a parlay play. You could use that if you have an account at that site. So again, all these teams got to do is score the W, Give me Virginia. Give me Army, who I like quite a bit tonight. At home, taking on the Bucknell. Army, one of the most undervalued teams in college basketball, really destroying fools in conference play. Give me Grand Canyon. They should easily coast to a victory there at home, one of the best home environments in college basketball. Give me Texas A&M at home against Florida. Give me Missouri. I mentioned all the reasons why earlier on. And give me Morgan State. You might say, why Morgan State? They're playing Hartford, who is 363 out of 363 teams on Bart Torvik right now in total efficiency. So, again, Virginia, Army, GCU, TAMU, Missouri, Morgan State, all 6 of those teams win, plus 638. Huevos y gates, indeed, available at DraftKings. And one last one I'll give you, lay the chalk with the Xavier Musketeers. Going to swashbuckle through DePaul tonight on the road. They're laying 8.5 at BetMGM at minus 110. Xavier, number 10 in 5 different Big East defensive categories. Excuse me, that's DePaul. As they've got up 42.1% from distance, number 233 overall, and effective field goal percentage offense. So lousy defense, lousy offense of the Blue Demons, and Xavier's won 11 in a row, and they're one of the best offensive teams in the country. Number 5 in adjusted offensive efficiency. They're shooting over 40% from distance and over 55% inside the arc. So X should mark the spot in the Windy City. I say Xavier covers the 8.5 on the road. All right, I am out of time. Remember to watch Live Online coming up here at 11 a.m. Central Time, noon Eastern across the Bally Sports RSNs. You can watch replays on those channels as well all day long, or you can stream the show for free at watchstadium.com/live. Again, watchstadium.com/live. Hopefully be back either Friday or Saturday with my NFL player prop and side and total plays and some college hoops as well. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That, my friend, is up to you.